So welcome back to another episode of Madoka Magica. Now, before we even go into what happened in the previous episode, let's go into more details about Sayaka as a character, because someone left a really brilliant comment about just everything that Sayaka is as a character without any spoilers from what I could tell. So I'm extremely grateful for that. Whenever you guys kind of correct the mistakes that I make, or maybe not mistakes, but maybe some things that I have misunderstood or something like that, if you correct it in a really nice way, I am so grateful for it. So this comment did correct me on it, because I did say, and I have been saying it for a few episodes, that Sayaka is the character that I can't read at all, or that I have the hardest time reading. So you guys did it for me. You guys broke it down as much as you could, so I'm grateful for it. So apparently, according to you guys, Sayaka is an extremely righteous character. So what that means is she's kind of like Mami, and she wants to be more like Mami. And the problem that she has is that she doesn't have the strength to be like Mami, right? So everything that she does, she actually genuinely does believe that she wants to do the best for the people, that she wants to defeat as many witches as possible. And to obviously save a lot of people, which is something that I thought at first that it was a farce for her, that she just created a superficial goal for herself to distract herself from the despair that would befall her if she realized that maybe she doesn't have any goals anymore. So I thought it was a superficial goal for her, but it does seem like it is an actual goal that she wants to achieve. So that was the biggest correction that you guys made on my part. So she genuinely is an extremely righteous character that wants to save people. So another thing is that you mentioned that me calling her a hypocrite is a bit harsh and not necessarily true, because she does genuinely want to help people, and I don't mean that she was a hypocrite on those parts. What I meant when I said that she's a hypocrite is, and maybe being a hypocrite is a bit of a harsh word, maybe I'm using it a bit too harshly, or a bit too easily for Sayaka. Maybe it was just counterintuitive how she was saying like she wants to save everyone, I will not let anyone get hurt, and then she took Madoka with her. I feel like that was really counterintuitive and ass backwards. That's the one part that I found hypocritical, but maybe I'm gonna guess that the reason she did it is because she saw Mami do it, and she saw how Mami, or at least she thought that Mami was doing it out of a kind heart to kind of show them the ropes of being a magical girl and how it's gonna go, and prepare them for the harsh world of magical girls, right? So maybe she excuses that kind of behavior by using the same philosophy of Mami, right? One thing that Sayaka doesn't know, though, is that Mami was doing it out of I feel bad saying selfish reasons, because at the end of the day, it is a selfish reason, but it is a very much understandable reason as to why she did it, because Mami was extremely lonely, and the reason she took Sayaka and Madoka with her, it was more so because of her loneliness than actually teaching her anything, which at the end of the day is selfish, but it's understandable as well. But Sayaka doesn't know that. Sayaka never saw Mami break down. She never saw all of the things all the human things and all of the quote-unquote cons that Sayaka's image may have presented, or sorry, Mami's image may have presented to Sayaka. So Sayaka still sees Mami as this ideal person, ideal hero, and she wants to be that as well, right? Now, obviously, she lacks the power for it, and that's why we saw her at the end, alongside with all of the other things that happened, we saw her snap a bit. Now, another thing is mentioning how being, like, if you have a soul in the soul gem, and then having it detached from your body, would that make you less human? I don't see a reason why it would, right? I don't know. I don't see a reason why it would make you less human. Oh no, actually I do. I did talk about it in the previous episode, because obviously you would become like a mega mind just controlling this flesh avatar, and that would definitely make you, I guess, less human. But then we're once again at the question, what makes a human human, right? So maybe let's not go into that, but maybe it would make you maybe more empathetic, maybe, which is not always a good thing, but it's also can be useful in certain situations, especially in situations that would drive other people insane. Maybe being a bit more apathetic could make you resist some of those situations. I don't know. I guess we'll find out what happens with Sayaka down the line. Is there anything else that I wanted to talk about? Sayaka. Oh yeah, another thing. You mentioned, or this person in the comments mentioned that she is extremely hell-bent on doing what's morally correct. So not eating an apple that was stolen. Or even she was, at first when Mami told her that she shouldn't be using the wish on someone else like Kyosuke, she wasn't gonna do it. But then when she saw Kyosuke actually struggling and breaking down and stuff like that, that's when she decided that it was morally correct to kill him, which I don't know about that one. I think that was more of an emotional choice than a, like, maybe objective choice. But to be fair, morality is an emotional and subjectively driven response slash feeling. So I don't know. It's tough to say if what she did was out of morality or if it was out of pure emotion. I feel like that wish was more emotionally driven than maybe doing what's the best in the grand scheme of things. But still, I don't know. I still think that Sayaka is probably the most difficult character and the deepest character so far in the series. Now we haven't delved at all into like Madoka's character and Homura's character. We've seen a bit of Kyoko's character now, but we still have much to learn about. The reason I'm spending so much time is talking about Sayaka, not just in this intro, but in every single episode that we had up until now, is because I think Sayaka is such a layered character. It's one of the hardest characters to break down still. Even after you guys did kind of break it down for me, there's still some things that I think are up for interpretation. Like I did say, the hypocrisy thing, I think she's the only moment that I was talking about that she was being hypocritical is when she took Madoka with her, as I said. But I think that was because of, well, seeing Mami and trying to do the same things that Mami did and stuff like that. So I don't know. I also, as I said, I don't know how. Oh yeah, one big thing that I was really thinking about is how strong is her wish to become like Mami compared to her wish for Kyosuke's health. Because let's say something happens to Kyosuke. Is her wish to be this kind magical girl who saves people strong enough to save her mental state from completely breaking down after, let's say, something were to happen to Kyosuke? Because I don't know. So what I'm saying is, Kyosuke dies. Kyosuke gets hurt again. Kyosuke leaves. He gets with Hitomi. Anything. Is she gonna break down mentally? Or is she gonna be like, okay, it happened, I'm upset, but it does not steer me from my objective of saving people and being a good magical girl? That's what I'm asking. I don't know how, which wish, which desire is stronger in her head. So yeah, I wonder. I don't know if it's gonna be explored or not. Because if nothing happens to Kyosuke, it's not going to be explored. I have a feeling that it's not going to be that easy, but I guess we'll find out. Also, let me talk about the other characters a bit. But because someone did ask me, what do I think about other characters, not just Sayaka, because I keep talking about Sayaka. Okay. Madoka, let's leave Madoka for the last. Kyoko, that's her name. Kyoko is extremely similar to Sayaka right now, right? She's not similar to Sayaka. Sorry. She's not similar to Sayaka right now. She used to be similar to Sayaka. She has a relatively similar backstory in the sense of she made a wish for someone else, and that wish, in Kyoko's case, didn't end up working out. In Sayaka's case, for now, it still is working out. But yeah, Kyoko's didn't end up working out. And she arrived at a similar problem as Sayaka is at right now, which is, what now? My wish is gone. I used it up. whether I gained something from it or not, it's no longer present in my life. So what now? And I think that Kyoko has obviously done something that's, when you're looking at it objectively, it is objectively the best choice for a magical girl, and that is to try to detach yourself from as much emotion as possible and just kind of make an algorithm, make like a program. Okay, I need to collect as many grief seeds. This is the best way to do it, and I'm gonna do it this way. I am going to be I'm gonna be safe like this. I'm not gonna be fearing for my life every waking moment. I'm probably strong enough to do this, so let's just do it this way. And that's probably the best way to do it if you want to live a safe life and you don't really care about those righteous ideals that Sayaka has. But now, as we said, Sayaka is way too righteous for that. So for Kyoko, I don't really think we have much of a deep analysis on her because we don't know her as well as we know the other, especially Sayaka. Especially Sayaka. So yeah. Yeah, I think for Kyoko, that's where my current headspace is at for her. Also, next one, Kyubei. I think Kyubei is obviously hard to read. I feel like Kyubei, at first I thought Kyubei was like just straight up evil. I don't think Kyubei is evil. I think Kyubei is smart and is completely detached and is doing things to achieve a certain goal. Or maybe that goal is something as simple as make magical girls. Make as many as you can. And use any tactic that would get you to make as many magical girls as possible. So I feel like that's the goal of Kyubei. And I don't know if there's much more to it. I don't know. Well, no, I do know why Kyubei would make the souls into soul gems and stuff like that. It's obviously to protect the magical girls so he can have, or it can have, as many magical girls running around as possible. Now, why would that be its goal? We saw Kyubei eating the grief seed from the witch. Does Kyubei need those grief seeds? Because if so, does it gain something from those grief seeds by eating them? If so, then that would explain the fact why it's making so many magical girls, right? Because right now it feels like Kyubei is just like a medium. It's a medium that grants a wish to make a witch or a magical girl. Grants a wish, makes a magical girl. But if it actually gains something by eating the grief seeds, that would make sense why he would want, or it would want, as many magical girls as possible. Because more magical girls means more grief seeds for Kyubei. Apart from that, I can't really break it down. I feel like it's doing things that it thinks are correct, but I don't think it has nefarious intentions at all. I think it's just completely apathetic and doesn't really care about much apart from maybe collecting the grief seeds would be my main guess as to what its actual objective is. Or it may be something that's, I don't know, maybe it's not the big mastermind behind the entire plot. Maybe Kyubei is a pet of some, I don't know, big magical girl who's just controlling the entire scheme here, or like God or something like that. I don't know. But that's my guess for now for Kyubei. Homura, we know nothing about Homura, absolutely nothing. We just know that she knows a lot of things. We know that Kyubei doesn't know anything about Homura. She seems extremely hyper-fixated on Madoka. Why that is the case, I know not. I have no idea. Maybe it's because of the potential or talent that Kyubei was mentioning in Madoka. Kyubei mentioned that Madoka has some of the, like, Kyubei mentioned that Madoka has the most talent that he's seen in like a long time, right? Or it's said that maybe just that Madoka has incredible talent. We don't know what exactly that means. My guess is that means that whatever wish she makes, let's say she were to make the same wish as Sayaka did, she would be granted maybe a stronger power. Even if the wish were the same, maybe she would be granted a stronger power based on her talent, potential, something like that. That would be my guess, I don't know. So Kyubei can sense that, and maybe Homura knows it as well. We know that Homura is gonna be in the area until Walpurgisnacht, and then she's gonna leave. She told that to Kyoko. So I wonder what's gonna happen at Walpurgisnacht. I have a feeling that's gonna answer a lot of the questions we have about Homura. Why is she... What is this Walpurgisnacht and why does she want to attend it? Or why does she want to be there when it happens? And why is she so hyper fixated on Madoka? I don't know, I guess. So I can't really break down Homura as a character too much as well because we don't know it. And now finally, let's go on to Madoka. I am so surprised by how little Madoka is involved in the story of Madoka Magica. Because I thought that this story is gonna be all about seeing everything from Madoka's perspective, seeing Madoka slowly change, but we don't even see that change. We can feel that she is changing, but we don't see what exactly is changing. We can feel that obviously everything that's happening around her is gonna change her. Like, we can even see some slight changes. Madoka was there for Sayaka. Well, I guess I don't think that's a change. I think that's more so Madoka getting slowly used to the witch hunts. She was there for Sayaka in the previous episode and said, hey, I'm gonna go with you, instead of Sayaka being the one asking, hey, can you come with me? But I think that's more so a trait that we've seen in Madoka before, of her being really nice to her friend. So I don't think we see much change in her, but we can feel that she must be changing from all of the events and unraveling before her eyes, right? So I wonder, I think she's just gonna be, as I said in the previous episode, she's gonna be used as this medium that's gonna be like, she's like a Play-Doh right now, and she's gonna be molded with all of the events, all of the hits that she's taking, all of the events happening before her eyes. I feel like she's just gonna end up being molded into this monstrosity of something. I don't know what. I have no idea. So, yeah. The last thing I'm gonna talk about, and then I'm gonna go into the episode, is, you know, one thing that I think, I don't know how I feel, I don't know if I'm misinterpreting this, so that's why I want to talk about it, so you guys can correct me on it. But, oh, you know the scene of, I think it was in episode 4, after Mami dies, and we see Madoka and Sayaka and Hitomi going to school. Sayaka being all cheery and happy because she's obviously suppressing her feelings. As we said, I've talked about it in that episode, that she obviously is putting up a front, she's suppressing her true feelings and stuff like that. But we see Madoka being all reserved, not saying anything, because I feel like the two differences between how Madoka and how Sayaka are dealing with the situations, dealing with like horrible, depressing situations, are Madoka wants, I feel like Madoka wants to talk about it. I feel like Madoka, because there have been times when Madoka was telepathically or even on the roof, I'm pretty sure in person, she wanted to talk to Sayaka about what happened and stuff like that. And Sayaka every single time shuts her down and be like, and she's like, I don't want to talk about it, or not now, or I'm okay, stuff like that. She never talks about it. And I feel like they're so incompatible when it comes to things like that, because I feel like for Madoka, it would do her so well for her mental health. It would be so good if she could just talk to someone, and the only person she can talk to right now is Sayaka. She isn't close enough to Homura to talk to her. She definitely can't talk to Kyoko, and obviously she can't talk to Kyubei, or she talks to Kyubei a little bit, but Kyubei hasn't gone through the same things that Madoka has. So the best person to talk to would be obviously Sayaka, and Sayaka is the type of person who doesn't want to talk about it. So that's this catch-22 where Madoka needs to talk about it to feel better about it, but she has no one to talk to about this, and Sayaka doesn't want to talk about it, so she can't talk to Sayaka about it. So it's this frustrating situation where these two girls are so incompatible when it comes to dealing with trauma that it's hard to, you know, it's hard to watch, because it can be, they could deal with it so much better if they were just a bit more compatible, but unfortunately they aren't. Anyways, this has been my 20-minute rant about all of the characters in Madoka Magica at this current point, up until episode 8. So, minus episode 8. So, up until the end of episode 7. I feel like wow, that was a long rant. I hope this video is gonna be probably even longer than the previous one. The previous one was like 40 minutes on YouTube and like 44 minutes on Patreon. So, God save me. Anyways, is it time? Is it finally time that we actually start the episode after like 25 minutes? I think it's time. So, without further ado, if you wanna watch this uncut and blood, it's gonna be on my Patreon, which is down in the description. And without further ado, let's go into Madoka Magica episode 8.
やり方さえ分かっちゃえば簡単なもんだね。これなら負ける気がしないわ。
I didn't want to talk about this. Sorry. I know it just started. I didn't want to mention this. I forgot. Obviously, Sayaka can't do this, like detach her body or like detach the pain from her body, because she can then heal herself up with her restoration magic, so it makes sense. That's all I wanted to mention. Because I didn't mention it in the previous episode.
あげるよ。そいつが目当てなんでしょ？おい。あんたに借りは作らないから。これでチャラ。いいわね。さあ帰ろう、まどか。さやかちゃん。ごめん。ちょっと疲れちゃった。無理しないで、捕まって。あのバカ。
I really was an idiot is the title of the episode. Was. I feel like that's something that Sayaka might say, maybe. Either Sayaka or Kyoko. Maybe even Kyoko, yeah.
痛くないなんて嘘だよ。見てるだけで痛かったもん。感じないから傷ついてもいいなんて、そんなのダメだよ。ああでもしなきゃ勝てないんだよ。私才能ないからさ。あんなやり方で戦ってたら、勝てたとしても、さやかちゃんのためにならないよ。私のためにって何？こんな姿にされた後で、何が私のためになるっていうの？さやかちゃん。今の私はね、魔女を殺す。ただそれだけしか意味のない、意思考なのよ。死んだ体を動かして生きてるふりをしてるだけ。そんな私のために、誰が何をしてくれるっていうの？考えるだけ無意味じゃない。でも私は、どうすればさやかちゃんが幸せになれるかって。だったらあんたが戦ってよ。キューベイから聞いたわよ。あんた誰よりも才能あるんでしょ？私みたいな苦労しなくても、簡単に魔女をやっつけられるんでしょ？私は、そんな、私のために何かしようって言うなら、まず私と同じ立場になってみなさいよ。無理でしょ。当然だよね。ただの同情で人間やめられるわけないもんね。同情なんて、そんな。何でもできるくせに、何もしないあんたの代わりに、私がこんな目に遭ってるの。それを棚にあげて、知ったようなこと言わないで。さやかちゃん。ついてこないで。
Man, I feel so horrible for Sayaka, because you know how she's feeling. You know that she doesn't want to say all of those things, but you know that she's feeling lost, she's feeling broken, and she has so many things happening. Like I said, she's the most unlucky character in all of Madoka Magica. Everything that happened to her so far has been nothing but misfortune. Oh, I feel so bad for her. Obviously, she's saying some horrible stuff to Madoka here, but you can understand where that's coming from, where that rage, that irrationality in her is coming from. She's. I feel so bad.
バカだよ、私。なんてこと言ってんのよ。もう救いようがないよ。ワルプルギスの夜の出現予測はこの範囲。根拠は何だい？統計よ。統計？以前にもこの町にワルプルギスが来たなんて話は聞いてないよ。一体何をどう統計したってのさ。お互い信用しろだなんて言える柄でもないけどさ、もうちょっと手の内を見せてくれたっていいんじゃない？それはぜひ僕からもお願いしたいね。明美ホムラ。どの面下げて出てきやがったてめえ。やれやれ、招かれざる客ってわけかい。今夜は君たちにとって重要なはずの情報を知らせに来たんだけどね。はあ？三木さやかの消耗が予想以上に早い。魔力を使うだけでなく、彼女自身が呪いを生み始めた。誰のせいだと思ってんのさ。このままだと、ワルプルギスの夜が来るより先に厄介なことになるかもしれない。注意しておいた方がいいよ。なんだそりゃ。どういう意味だ？僕じゃなくて、彼女に聞いてみたらどうだい？君ならすでに知っているんじゃないかな。明美ホムラ。やっぱりね。どこでその知識を手に入れたのか、僕はとても興味深い。君は、聞くだけのことは聞いたわ。消えなさい。ほっとくのかよ、あいつ。あれを殺したところで、何の解決にもならないわ。それよりもミキサヤカだ。あいつの言ってた厄介事ってのは何なんだ？彼女のソウルジェムは、汚れを溜め込みすぎたのよ。早く浄化しないと、取り返しのつかないことになる。マストという助動詞は、これこれしなければならないという義務の意味があるのですが、普通だとどちら
So, is that tainted in the same way as it becomes tainted when you use magic, or is it in a different way? Is it like her soul itself has become tainted because of the curse that Kyubei has mentioned, or is it that she's been actually using too much magic? I don't know.
あの時、追いかけなきゃダメだったのに。
You can't blame yourself for that, Madoka.
でもさ、しずきさんって帰る方角はこっちなんだっけ？今まで帰り道に見かけたことってないような。ええ、本当は全然逆方向ですわ。じゃあ、今日はどうして？上条くんに、お話ししたいことがありますの。帰ってないんですか？昨日から、はい。わかりました。はい。失礼します。さやかちゃん。探さなきゃ。
Don't do this to yourself, Sayaka. Don't do this to yourself.
どうしてわからないの？ただでさえ余裕がないのだから。魔女だけを狙いなさい。 うるさい。大きなお世話よ。もうソウルジムも限界のはずよ。今すぐ浄化しないと。
Okay, it is the same way as when you use magic. It's nothing more than that. You're not gonna use it.
今度は何を企んでるのさ。いい加減にして。もう人を疑ってる場合じゃないでしょ。そんなに助けられるのが嫌なの。あんたたちとは違う魔法少女になる。私はそう決めたんだ。誰かを見捨てるのも、利用するのも、そんなことをする奴らとつるむのも嫌だ。見返りなんていらない。私だけは絶対に自分のために魔法を使ったりしない。あなた、死ぬわよ。私が死ぬとしたら、それは魔女を殺せなくなった時だけだよ。それってつまり用済みってことじゃん。ならいいんだよ。魔女に勝てない私なんて、この世界にはいらないよ。ねえ、どうして？あなたを助けたいだけなの？どうして信じてくれないの？どうしてかな。ただなんとなくわかっちゃうんだよね。あんたが嘘つきだってこと。あんた、何もかも諦めた目をしてる。いつも空っぽの言葉を喋ってる。今だってさ、私のためとか言いながら、本当は全然別のこと考えてるんでしょ。ごまかしきれるもんじゃないよ、そういうの。そうやって、あなたはますますマドカを苦しめるのに。マドカは関係ない
It
でしょ。
has a lot to do with Madoka.
何もかもあの子のため。
You see the hyperfixation on Madoka.
あなたって鋭いわ。ええ、図星よ。私はあなたを助けたいわけじゃない。
I thought so.
あなたが破滅していく姿をマドカに見せたくない。
Yeah, that's what I said
ここで私を拒むなら、
at the end of episode
どう
6.
せあなたは死ぬしかない。これ以上、マドカを悲しませるくらいなら、いっそ私が、この手で、今すぐ殺してあげるわ。ミキサヤカ。
Who's coming? Someone's coming.
おい、さっさと逃げろ。正気かてめえは、あいつを助けるんじゃなかったのかよ。話して。なるほどね。こんな風にとっ捕まったままだと、あの妙な技も使えないってわけか。
A flashbang?
くそ。
言い訳とかさせちゃダメっしょ。稼いできた分はきっちり全額見過ごさないと。女ってバカだからさ、ちょっと金戻せとくとすぐくったらねえことに使っちまうからね。いやーほんと、女は人間扱いしちゃダメっすね。犬かなんかだと思ってしつけないとね。あいつもそれで喜んでるわけだし。顔殴るぞって脅せば、まず大抵は黙りますもんね。ちょっと油断すると、すぐつけやがって席入れたいとか言い出すからさ、甘やかすの禁物よ。たく、てめえみたいなキャバ嬢が、10年後も同じ額稼げるかってな。見るほどわきまえろってんだ。ねえ、捨てる時がさ、ほんとうざいっすよね。その辺、翔さんうまいから羨ましいっすよ。俺も見習わないと。
ねえ、その人のこと聞かせてよ。
はい？
今あんたたちが話してた女の人のこと、もっとよく聞かせてよ。
お嬢ちゃん中学生、夜遊びは良くないぞ。
その人、あんたのことが大事で、喜ばせたくて頑張ってたんでしょ。あんたにもそれが分かってたんでしょ。なのに犬と同じなの。ありがとうって言わないの。役に立たなきゃ捨てちゃうの。
何こいつ、知り合い？いや。
この世界って守る価値あるの？私何のために戦ってたの？教えてよ。今すぐあんたが教えてよ。でないと私。さやかちゃん、どこ？ 君も僕のことを恨んでいるのかな？
あなたを恨んだら、さやかちゃんを元に戻してくれる？
無理だ。それは僕の力の及ぶことじゃない。
ねえ、いつか言ってた、私がすごい魔法少女になれるって話。あれは、本当なの？
すごいなんていうのは控えめな表現だ。君は途方もない魔法少女になるよ。おそらくこの世界で最強の。
Wow.
私が引き受けてたら、さやかちゃんは魔法少女にならずに済んだのかな？
さやかは彼女の願いを遂げた。その点について、まどかは何の関係もない。
Yeah.
どうして私なんかも。
僕にもわからない。はっきり言って、君が秘めている潜在能力は、理論的にはありえない規模のものだ。誰かに説明してほしいのは僕だって一緒さ。
そうなの？
君が力を解放すれば、奇跡を起こすどころか、宇宙の法則をねじ曲げることだって可能だろう。なぜ君一人だけが
Why though?
それほどの素質を備えているのか、理由は未だにわからない。
Okay. Sorry.
私は、自分なんて何の取り柄もない人間だと思ってた。ずっとこのまま、誰のためになることも、何の役に立つこともできずに、最後までただなんとなく生きていくだけなのかなって。それは悔しいし、寂しいことだけど、でも仕方ないよねって思ってた。
現実は随分と違ったね。まどか、君は望むなら万能の神にだってなれるかもしれないよ。
私なら、キューベイにできないことでも、私ならできるのかな？
というと、
私があなたと契約したら、さやかちゃんの体を元に戻せる？
その程度、きっと造作もないだろうね。その願いは君にとって、魂を差し出す至るものかい。
さやかちゃんのためなら、いいよ。私、魔法少女に。
Homura.
あなたは、なんであなたはいつだって、そうやって自分を犠牲にして。役に立たないとか、意味がないとか、勝手に自分を粗末にしないで、あなたを大切に思う人のことも考えて、いい加減にしてよ。あなたを失えば、それを悲しむ人がいるって、どうしてそれに気づかないの？あなたを守ろうとしてた人はどうなるの？本村ちゃん。私たちはどこかで会ったことあるの？私と。それは。ごめん。私、さやかちゃんを探さないと。待って。ミキさやかはもう。ごめんね。待って。
無駄なことだって知ってるくせに、懲りないんだな、君も。代わりはいくらでもあるけど、無意味に潰されるのは困るんだよね。もったいないじゃないか。
I thought so.
君に殺されたのはこれで2度目だけれど、おかげで攻撃の特性も見えてきた。時間操作の魔術だろ、さっきのは。やっぱりね、なんとなく察しはついてたけれど、君はこの時間軸の人間じゃないね。
I was about to say that. Why didn't I pause it?
私はすべて知ってる。
なるほどね。だからこんなにしつこく
So she knew Madoka. So she probably knew Madoka from another timeline, and her wish to becoming a something happened, and her wish to becoming a magical was to reverse that timeline to maybe where they never met or something like that. And that was her wish, and she got some kind of time manipulation magic because of that. Oh shit! this was the most emotion we've seen Homura shown, period, obviously. I am... Wow.
そうまでして、要まどかの運命を変えたいのかい？ねえ。
No
絶対にお
hesitation.
前の思い通りにはさせない。キューベ。いいえ。インキュベーター。
Incubator? What's it incubating? What's it incubating? What are you incubating? Magical girls? You're incubating magical girls, but into what?
やっと見つけた。
Or maybe the grief seeds?
あんたさ、いつまで強情張ってるわけ？
Sad. No.
悪いね。手間かけさせちゃって。なんだよ。らしくないじゃんかよ。うん。別にもう、どうでもよくなっちゃったからね。結局私は、一体何が大切で、何を守ろうとしてたのか。もう何もかも、わけわかんなくなっちゃった。おい。希望と絶望のバランスは差し引きゼロだって。いつだったか、あんたは言ってたよね。今ならそれ、よくわかるよ。確かに私は、何人か救いもしたけどさ。だけどその分、心には、恨みや妬みが溜まって、一番大切な友達さえ傷つけて。さやか、あんたまさか、誰かの幸せを祈った分、他の誰かを呪わずにはいられない。私たち魔法少女って、そういう仕組みだったんだね。私ね、ほんとバカ。この国では、成長途中の女性のことを少女って呼ぶんだろ？だったら、やがて魔女になる君たちのことは、魔法少女と呼ぶべきだよね。
Um, 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 you know, it makes sense. It makes sense in the grand scheme of things. It makes so much sense. It makes way too much sense. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. Why did I not even think about that? Where do the witches come from? It's so obvious. What happens to the magical girls that may have gone out of control? Like, it feels like a magical girl going out of control is not even that uncommon. Like, we can see it. It's so easy to go out of control. We can see it here. Oh. And Sayaka admitted her true feelings just a tiny bit too late. She was a bit too late to admit that what she did was foolish. She realized all of the things that people were saying to her and all of the warnings that she was receiving were valid, but it was already too late at that point. Oh shit. Okay, so as I was saying, her wish to save the world wasn't strong enough. She wasn't doing this out of kindness to just save the people. It wasn't, or she was at first, but she isn't Maki. She isn't mommy. She isn't mommy. She just isn't. She can't be mommy. And she never realized how hard it is to try to be as righteous as mommy was. She never saw that side of mommy. That's why it broke her when, oh shit. And that's what it means to make a wish for someone else. Ah, shit. So, she's becoming a witch now? That's crazy. That's actually wild. She's becoming a witch. And the natural progression. I don't know if I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong about the natural progression, but Madoka might end up becoming a magical girl to slay her. No, that would be too cruel. That would be way too cruel. What am I saying? This is Madoka. There's no such thing as too cruel for Madoka, apparently. I had so many things, once again, that I wanted to talk about. I blanked out after this. I absolutely love how they showed Sayaka realizing, like, first of all, going through this internal turmoil, everything building up, bubbling, just her head bubbling with all of those just horrible things that were happening to her, all of the unlucky circumstances, everything, and then showing her at the very end just snap. And then she realized, oh, that's what everyone was saying, that's what everyone was warning me about. That's what Kyoko, Mami, Homura, Madoka, Kyubei, not Kyubei, but everyone else was warning me about. And then Homura dropped some nice lore on us. Kyubei being the incubator for witches. Now we know Kyubei is cultivating witches. And once again, we don't know why. But my guess would be grief seeds. My guess would be it wants to create a cycle of magical girls and witches, that magical girls would end up slaying the witches and feeding the grief seeds to Kyubei. Now, I don't know what... This may be completely incorrect, by the way. If I'm wrong, it's completely possible. But this is only my theory. It would make sense. I don't know what the grief seeds would do for Kyubei. I don't know if Kyubei gains some kind of power or anything like that from the grief seeds. I don't know. But that would be my guess as to what would be the motivation behind making witches. It also said that Madoka could become the most powerful witch or magical girl in existence, or even like a godlike presence, which is absolutely crazy. Oh yeah, Homura. So Homura really broke down. She is from another timeline. So I'm guessing what happened is she either, I don't know how timelines are gonna work in this anime. I don't know if it's gonna be a completely separate, like, two different timelines, or if it's gonna be one line and she just traveled back on it. Because both, well, it depends on the theory. Let's not go into a time travel theory. But she must have known Madoka at some point, and something must have happened to Madoka. Maybe she became a witch, and whatever happened to Madoka, the catalyst for it was probably her becoming a magical girl. That's why Homura is so hell-bent on stopping Madoka becoming a magical girl, right? She doesn't want that to happen, so something in the future doesn't happen either. Now, I wonder if, yeah, that is her becoming a witch, and I wonder what Walpurgisnacht has to do with this. What a crazy-ass episode, man. You guys said that you can't help yourself but binge watch it in this series. You guys are way stronger than I am, because I need to sit on every single episode and just think about it for like a day. I can't record more than one episode. I don't think I can record 2 episodes in a row of this. My heart is gonna explode right now. You guys are way stronger than I could ever be. So this is incredible, but damn, it's so thought-provoking. My brain is starting to wrinkle way too hard just thinking about this. So I probably, once again, missed some things, but I feel like I'm doing okay for my first watch through, because I know everyone who's watching this, I'm guessing no one's watching it for the first time. Well, like for the very, very first time. At most, maybe some people are watching it, like watching the episode and then coming back to this, but I'm guessing no one is watching it for the very first time on the channel. So you guys who have seen it multiple times definitely have a better insight into the show than I do. I feel like I'm doing okay with understanding all of the things happening, especially since this is the first anime that's like this, that I'm like, the first anime I'm watching that's this thought-provoking maybe. But yeah, anyways, this is Oh god, I don't want to know what happens next, honestly. I don't want to watch the next episode. You guys are saying how you couldn't stop watching it. I don't want to watch the next episode. I'm so scared. I'm so anxious. I'm so nervous for it. Anyways, I don't want to... I feel like I said most of the things that I wanted to say at the beginning of the episode, apart from the few new things that I added here, so I'm just gonna end it here. I've been recording once again for another hour, like yesterday, so this is probably gonna be an even longer video than yesterday, so... Great. Thanks, Madoka. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.